Good evening, Team Results. Coach Daniel again, coming to you with another resistance band workout. So tonight, I've done my usual trick. We're going to be doing just a decent selection of exercises, hopefully ones that, again, you can do with the band, but also that challenge you a little bit. Different types of movement and something to mix it up for you tonight. Now we're going to be doing the usual thing, pairs of exercises. Then we'll have sort of a bit of a finisher at the end. With the finisher tonight, I'm going for a bit of a shoulder sort of posture type one with it. So basically a bit of shoulder work in there that hopefully will help get those shoulders going, moving if you've been sat down all day, something different for you there as well. So again, I'm going to start with pairs. I'm going to be starting with a bit of a squat movement and a calf stretch for it, one that you've probably done before if you've done the warm-up videos, the calf march, but it is a very good exercise. But the first exercise we're going to start with tonight, Kang squat. Now we're going to try to make this one a little bit more challenging. So the way that I'm going to do that is that we're actually going to have our hands overhead. And again, this is just keeping that posture theme of keeping the arms up nice and tall, getting those shoulders open a little bit. So it's just to help with that. So with that, what we're going to do, if you remember the Kang squat, it's a hinge. So we push back, move at the hips, then the knees bend, and then we just stand up. But so we're going to have those hands overhead to begin with. So again with the band with this one, a little bit of tension on the band, feel like you're just pulling it apart a little bit, doesn't need to be yanking it, just a little bit to help engage those shoulders. So again, up nice and tall, looking forward, and then as I say, just a nice hinge back. We're going to bend the knees, stand up like that. Okay, so we're going to do 8 reps to start with this, although I have done my usual trick of a rep range with it, so you can do a little bit more, up to 12 if you want to with it. So, getting stuck in now, hinge back, look over at the floor, come up tall, stand up, and again, try and get those shoulders engaged. So again, hopefully just get your legs moving a little bit there. Feel those a little bit, as I say, more of a positionally challenging one, makes it a little bit tougher for you. So the movement we're going to do, good one to help with this one, to get those Achilles, calves, back of the legs a little bit up. So we're going to do the calf march here. So what we need to do in this position, on all fours, push your butt off in there, so pike up, and what we're going to do is 8 of each. So what you're trying to do is get the leg nice and straight, push that heel flat to the floor if you can. Just pushing down nicely. Let's say about 8 on each leg. And so you can have a little pause there as well, really stretch out that calf. Should feel a nice stretch in the back of the leg there. Ooh. So say, hopefully, you should aim to feel that one in the back of the legs a little bit of a stretch there. So we'll go back. We'll do about 3 sets of this to begin with. So again, room for more if you want though. You can do up to 5 would be good with this. So again, normal squat stance, feet sort of a bit wider than sort of hip width, sort of shoulder width stance, toes out a little bit with this one. Will help a lot, make it much more comfortable for you. Again, band pulled apart a little bit, up nice and tall, hinge back. Feel those knees pushing forward and stand up. So again, hinge your back, come up nice and tall. So, again, moving on to the calf march one again. Now, if you want to make this a little bit tougher, what you want to try and do is bring your feet and hands close together and pike up more, make it more challenging for you. So, again, we have this position. So you see I'm quite far apart there, more of a plank position, but that will make
But if I come in a bit closer like this, you should be able to get your heels down and really push back, and that's what we want to do. Try and push those heels down onto the floor. This just gives us an easy marker to do that.
So just move on to the last set with this. So again, a lot to think about with this movement, but just remember, get your shoulders set first, then it's hinge and squeeze those knees to squat, push them forward, and that's the basics of it there. If you're doing those, you'll have a half decent movement there, which is what we want. So again, band apart, tall, I'm going to hinge, stretch those legs out, and stand up. Just the last set of calf marches now. So again, pike yourself up nice and high. Try and get to a position where you see just about get those heels down to the floor. So remember, the thing to focus on with those ones, get that leg straight. You don't just feel like you're pushing down on the heel, get that leg locked back and straight as well, you'll feel it a lot more. So hopefully a good one, just to get us moving nicely, warmed up a bit, ready to crack on. So we've got 2 more movements here. Now we're going to raise the rep slightly, we're going to go up to 10 reps. And again, got one that we've done in the past, a nice rowing movement. We've also got a little bit of a new one. So this one may just want to leave the band for it first and just get a bit of a feel for it. But this new one, it's everyone's dreaded balance exercise, one leg RDL. But we're going to do it with a bit of an assistance here. So what we're going to do is we're going to have one foot back on the box. And hopefully what this is going to do is let us support us and let us just feel for that hinge movement well with one leg. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up very similar to a rear foot elevated squat. So just back of the foot, you can see laces down on the box there. But instead of what we'd do normally, where we'd drop down, we're going to push back. So the hinge back, stand up tall. So feel like you're pushing your bum back. And you see I'm doing this at quite a slow pace because what I want to do is feel my bum, this bum, squeezing forward. Now I'm going for 10 reps of this, but I'm still thinking that thing of trying to push my leg back. So it's alright if this knee bends a little bit more, your back knee. So that's what you want to say, steady with that, focus on squeezing with the glute, not throwing your back forward. So we'll change over, so do the other side, I'll come to this angle, see if that's a little bit better for you to watch as well. So foot, let's say laces down, what I'm going to focus on, pushing back, steady squeeze the bum to stand tall. What I don't want to do is just throw my back forward, just push it back. Now with that one, on the next one, I will show you how to, obviously, it's a very simple way to add the resistance band to that if you want to make it a little bit more challenging. But say have a go first. New movement. It's a little bit of a strange one, and with it being similar to the rear foot split squat, suggest you try it without the band first, just as I say, to get a feel with it, because they are actually, while they look similar, they're two actually quite distinct movements there with just the hip movement. But moving on, we're going to do some seated bent over row. So this one, just want you to grab hold of the band, get it over the bottom of your feet, middle of the heels, feet down nice and firmly. What I want you to do is lean into it a little bit. And all we're going to do from here, 10 rows. So pulling back nicely. Remember, drive those elbows back behind you, a little pause in there. Don't just let the band snap you back. So remember with that one as well, it's that sort of move, and that you'll feel like that elbow's pulling back like that. That's what you're going for with that one. So, to the assisted single leg RDLs. Now, if you want to add a band to this, you can do. Now, the simple thing to do is just stand on the band with your front foot. So, band over the front foot there. What I'm going to do is, again, just get my leg back here. And remember, the key thing with this one is I'm still feeling for that hinging back. I'm still pushing back. I'm not leaning forward, I'm trying to push back. That's 10 on that one. Also, the thing that I should have mentioned is, don't worry as well, if you want it to be provided with the box movement to be a little bit less challenging, you can go for a lower box as well. The lower to the floor, it may be a little bit more comfortable for you. So do experiment with the levels if you can, if you've got that option. If you've got different seat heights, give that a go and see how that feels for you as well. So, just going to do the other leg now. Again, we're going to be doing 3 sets on this. Nice movement to get us going. Oh, so set yourself again, feel for that bum pushing back, and then just steadily squeezing forward. Notice I'm not rushing to throw myself up to lock out. So yeah, as I said with that one, do have a bit of an experiment in terms of the box height for it as well, see what's comfortable for you. But back to the seated rows. So again, feet over the band. Remember, try and keep your chest up though while you lean forward here. Lean into it a little bit, but I still want my chest up, I don't want to be hunched up. So chest up forward, just pulling back, and remember, nice pause. Try to get those elbows right behind you. There we go. And we'll just move on to the last set of these with the resistance band. As I say, remember, don't feel the need to use this the first time around. Perfectly fine to do these ones without the band. Get a feel for that movement. So again, hinge back, feel that bone travelling back. Steady squeeze forward. If you come up slowly with these, well, I know you want to rush and get it over with. If you feel that bum squeezing forward, you'll come up a lot more slowly with it. Really controlled, and you should feel better for it. last leg now. And nice hinge back, steady squeeze forward with the hips. So, last set of rows as well. So again, feet stood on the band nicely. Remember, do grab further down the band if you want a bit more tension on it to make the row a bit more challenging for yourself. But again, just 10 reps, last set here. So, again, hopefully a nice variation for you there with the RDL, because I know it's one that people struggle with, the balance. Just remember, take your time with it, don't rush to stand up, try and feel for that glute squeezing, let that dictate how quickly you come up. Right, moving on now, we've got 2 more to do. We've got a floor press exercise, and then we're going to try some heel taps with a band as well, see if we can make those a little bit more challenging for you as well. So the floor press. Had a go at this one in the past, but again, just a nice pushing movement to be able to do with the band. That isn't a press up, which I think is a nice change from the moment myself. So, okay, this one, just get the band around your back. Then, as you can see here, comes on the inside of me. I'm holding it on the inside. I just find this grip a bit more comfortable myself, where it's not on the outside of my elbows and arms and shoulders, where the band tends to move around a bit as you press up. But if you want it round that way, like over the back like that, by all means go for it. Again, we're going to go slightly higher reps. Again, we're going to nudge it up and just do 12 to 15 with these. And as I say, all we're going to do, lie down on the floor, nice and flat. Again, you can have your legs straight out in front and knees bent up, it's entirely to you. Now you can start with hands, the band, like that, over the fist. And all we're going to do is focus on, so this is mainly an arm one, we're going to focus on just straightening out the arms. So. That's it. So remember, nice straight, and remember you're trying to not let your shoulder lift off the floor too much there. You want the shoulder to try and stay flat to the floor, not shrug up like that too much. So, we're going to go on to some heel taps now. So if you remember heel taps, there's a side to side one, but we're going to be doing one side at a time with this, and we're going to modify it slightly since now. What I want you to do, although you will have to have a play around with this, is just the side that you're going to work, just take the band, loop it over the end there. Then, on the other side, we'll just hold it here. Now this is going to let us dictate the tension a little bit more, get a little bit more tension on the band. So this, you can see here I've got the band, it's a bit unbalanced, it's more pulled up this side, and as I say, it's to get more tension on it, to make the movement harder. So again, going to be this sort of sat position. As you can see, keeping that sat position. We'll go for 12 on each side. See, I'm pulling myself up. different angle of it from the side. So remember, still want that sat up position, but hopefully this just gives us something to pull on a little bit and adds a little bit of tension to it and makes it a little bit more challenging for us. You'll be able to feel it a little bit more on that side. So again, remember you want it a little bit shorter on one side, but again, have a play around with the tension for what feels comfortable for you. Again, legs a bit bent, sitting up position. Yeah. 12. Ooh. So, hopefully we're feeling that one a little bit in your obliques. Again, just nice and steady, but again, I just thought a little way just to add a bit of a resistance to a sort of like a staple exercise there that you might enjoy, say mixing up and making it a bit more challenging for yourself. Again, we're going to go for 3 rounds of this, so we're going to go back to the floor press. Now remember with the floor press, over the back. Now if you do want some more tension on it, don't feel the need to grab it like that. You can hold it like that if you want. So when we're pressing forward, you'll get much more tension on the band that way. So do feel free to adjust it like that if you want some more tension. But again, lie nice and flat on the floor. Again, up to you if you want your arms, your legs straight or bent up, entirely up to you. What we're going to do, as I say, is try to keep those shoulders on the floor. Just squeeze with the back of the arms, feet your triceps. Yep. Then we'll jump back to the heel taps now. So again, band over the end of the feet, grab with one hand and then with the other, say pull it a little bit shorter for you. Just get into that heel tap position. So sat up slightly, band pulled in tight on one side. I'm going to do 12 on one side. I would suggest you sit up and grab hold of the band properly while it's loose rather than trying to adjust it when it's tense. Again, nice and short on one side, a little bit longer on the other. Feet a bit bent. Again, sat looking forward. Pushing out to the side. Don't know why I was going to go just get up there. I've got floor press again. So the last set of floor press with this. Now remember as well, if you've got a sort of weaker band with this one as well, we don't feel like it adds much to the floor press, by all means switch to a press up. Get the band over the shoulders. You can make it tougher, feel like it's still a pushing movement, that pressing movement. So if you do want to make it a bit more challenging again, do level up to a press up variation with this. But today we'll finish off, say, get that nice floor press, and remember, just don't want the shoulder lifting up a lot, just straightening out the arms. That's what we're doing. It's not about pushing the hands up as high as we can, we just want to straighten our arms. So just 12 reps. Just onto the last set, heel taps now. So again, pulled up one side, shorter on the other with the hand, clasp nicely there, legs pulled in a little bit. Remember, lie down, sit yourself up so you're looking up. Just attention to the other side now. Just pull the other side in tight. Sat up. Onto this other side. So, hope you enjoyed those ones. Just going to move on now to say a little bit of a posture one. I thought I'd mix this up a little bit. So, I'm going to be doing a bit of variations on some exercises we know, but as I say, hopefully these are still sort of like challenging movements for you, as I say, and really help with that posture, opening up your shoulders. So, we're going to do good old simple ladder. We're going to start off on 10 reps and lose 2 each round on 3 exercises too. So it's going to be 10, 8, 6, 4, 2, 0 with that. Okay, so the first ones that we're going to start off with, shoulder dislocates but prone on the floor. Now remember, the reason that we lie prone on the floor is that we want to make sure our body stays flat on the floor and just feel for the parts of the body that we want to be moving, rather than bending, straightening with back and things like that. So I'd advise you to start with a bit of a wider tension on the band, a bit of a wider grip. Look, what I'm going to do, as I say, body nice and flat on the floor. Just lifting over the head, try to keep the arms straight. Now remember that one, the point of lying in the prone position, so what we don't want to be doing is going like that and lifting up and arching our back off the floor. Body should stay, feel like it stays nice and flat to the floor. Again, if you want to make this one more challenging, again, bring your grip in a little bit more, find that right point that's challenging for you. But staying in the same position, we're going to move on to the other one and do a bit of a pull down movement with the band. So, again, holding onto the band the same way. What I want you to do is focus on driving your elbows and trying to pull that band as low down your back as you can without pulling it apart. So as I said, the key things there is that I don't pull the band apart too much on that one. So what I don't want to be doing is like driving my arms out wide. You see my arms stay tracking. I don't go and pull wide. And the second thing is I'm trying to keep the band high off the ground as I can. So I'm not just like hovering here. I'm actually trying to get that shoulders up, that band up nice and high off the floor. You should really feel that if you do it. So the last one we're going to do is a bit of a band pull apart variation, the endless amounts that we can do. So with this one, I'd suggest having the band just on one strand with it. You'll see how I'm going to do it here. I'm going to pin it down with one hand in a bent over position. I'd suggest you do the same. You don't need a huge amount of tension in this version. So yeah, one hand on the band. I'm going to grab it wide, arm locked, nice and straight. punching out wide. 10. Then swap over hands, again, same position, pin it down with one hand, other hand out wide. So, reason for that is, one, it's just quite tough. Two, it gives you a lot of play to adjust the band there to the tension that you want it. So I'd really suggest doing it like that. If you are feeling super brave, by all means, do double up. So, back onto it. So we're going to go down to 8 reps now. So back to the shoulder dislocates. Now remember, if these did feel a bit easy, bring your grip a little bit narrower on the band. It will make it a lot harder. So again, lie nice and flat. Again, I'll try to go for a bit of a narrower grip here. So now, keeping the same sort of hand position on the band, doing the pull downs. Remember, you want to get this band nice and high off the ground. Try not to pull it apart at the bottom. You try to keep the same tension on it. So, driving down with the elbow as well. Now, hopefully you've become a little bit burned like I am. So again, single strand, hand pinning the band down so it's nice and in position. But again, straight arm locked, just try and drive that band up behind you. Ooh. Right, try and keep that pace up with this. I'm not going to rest too much, so I'm getting down to 6 now. So, back to the dislocates. So again, bringing that grip in to that right point, so it's a little bit challenging, lifting up. Into the band, pull down, again up nice and high, going for the 6 reps. Back to the band, pull apart. So again, arm nice and straight, chest set nice and straight. Changing over the sides. Again, think like you're trying to get your fist to touch the ceiling with this one. So set, fist up towards the ceiling. So, getting through a bit quicker now, down to 4, so just a couple more rounds left now. So we'll keep this pace up. Ooh. So again, shoulder dislocate. into the pull downs. Four. Back into the band pull apart. One hand down. Swapping out the sides. Right, so just the last round now, so just 2 reps nearly there. So again, keeping that nice full. Do the dislocates, so 2 reps. Two. Then into the pull downs. Up high. Then into the band full apart. And set. Fist up towards the ceiling. Two. Oh, there we go. All done for another week. Right. Again, hope you've enjoyed that. Hope it's a nice mixture for you and something a little bit different each week, and a few challenging movements to let you getting something out of it. Again, you have any questions, want any advice with anything, or any adjustments, by all means just drop me a comment. Same as well, the full workout sheet will be in the comments as well. And yeah, hope you've enjoyed it, hope you've had a good session. Do let me know, and as I say, if you want me to cover anything next week, let me know. Hope to see you soon. Take care. Bye.